New York Public Intoxication Laws and DWI. Understanding the difference between simply being intoxicated in public and driving while intoxicated determines whether you receive a supportive escort or face criminal penalties. With the right information and representation, you can navigate these situations and protect your record. New York distinguishes between DWI and lesser impairments based on a driver's blood alcohol content. Operating a vehicle with a BAC of 0.08% or higher constitutes a DWI. Driving with a BAC above 0.05 but below 0.08 is labeled driving while ability impaired. Commercial drivers face a stricter 0.04% limit. Exceeding these thresholds may lead to fines, jail, license suspension, ignition interlock devices and mandatory treatment, and penalties increase with repeat offenses. By contrast, alcohol-related public intoxication is not a crime. The state treats it as a public health issue and imposes no penalties for simply being drunk in a public place. Problems arise when intoxicated behavior crosses into disorderly conduct under Penal Law Section 240.20. Fighting, making unreasonable noise, blocking traffic or refusing lawful orders can lead to citations, fines, community service or jail time. Even yelling or creating a scene outside a bar can be enough, which is why contacting a defense lawyer if you are charged is important. Public intoxication can also become a DWI when a vehicle is involved. Being seated in the driver's seat with keys in the ignition, even when the car isn't moving, can qualify as operating a vehicle. Attempts to start a car or evidence that someone drove while impaired can support a DWI charge. Because the consequences are severe, it's best to seek legal representation immediately. A skilled attorney can review whether officers had probable cause, whether breath or field sobriety tests were administered properly, and whether evidence was collected legally. During a DWI stop, officers observe signs such as slurred speech, the smell of alcohol or erratic driving before asking for field sobriety tests and a breathalyzer. Refusing the test leads to immediate license suspension under implied consent laws. In alcohol-related public intoxication encounters, law enforcement prioritizes safety. They may offer to escort a cooperative person home or to a treatment facility. If someone is incapacitated, they can be taken to a hospital without consent or placed in protective custody for up to 48 hours under medical supervision, reflecting the state's focus on health rather than punishment. Drug-related public intoxication is handled differently. Being intoxicated by drugs in public is a violation. Convictions can result in up to 15 days in jail and a fine of up to $250. Because of these potential penalties, those charged with drug-related public intoxication should consult a legal professional to explore defense strategies. People often worsen a DWI situation by admitting they were drinking or by refusing sobriety tests without realizing the legal consequences. Resisting arrest or volunteering unnecessary information can also harm a case. The best course is to cooperate with law enforcement and seek legal guidance quickly. Defending against these charges requires knowledge of the law. Lawyers often challenge traffic stops that lacked probable cause, question the accuracy of breath tests, or argue that medical conditions affected field sobriety results. For public intoxication allegations, defense strategies usually focus on showing that the person's behavior did not threaten public order. Witness statements or video footage can be essential. Effective representation involves careful preparation, identifying weaknesses in the prosecution's case, and negotiating for reduced charges or alternative sentencing such as rehabilitation. Navigating New York's intoxication and DWI laws is complex. Long Island criminal defense attorney Jason Bassett uses his background as a former prosecutor and over 2 decades of experience to protect clients' rights. He and his law firm offer personalized representation and advocate for treatment or alternatives to jail when appropriate. The law firm's office is located at 320 Carleton Avenue, number 4200, Central Islip, New York, 11722. If you face a DWI charge or an issue related to public intoxication, contact the law offices of Jason Bassett, PC at 631-259-6060. An experienced legal advocate can evaluate your situation, challenge the evidence and help you move forward.